course, but I mean, I don't think if he could have picked his opponent, he wouldn't have picked Tommy Jones, because Jones not only got a 300 last year, but he bowled absolutely magnificently. And his Webber Cup record in singles competition is 8-2. So the man from South Carolina is one tough nut. But 23 years old, the man from Walton on the Naze in Essex, quietly confident in his own way. He's not cocky, but he's very, very confident in his own ability. And he was telling me he's got something like 15 or 20 family and friends coming to watch him this weekend. And I said to him, well, no pressure then. He said, no, I love it. It's nice to have a bit of support around the place. Well, he's certainly got plenty of that. Mum, dad, aunts and uncles, cousins and mates, all here to see what he can do. And what he can do is open up with a strike. And is it my imagination, or the cheers a little bit louder? I mean, the players section, as I say, here in the audience, the players section, they rose as one. So he's got all his mates and family members into the... you might need 7 or 8 of those.
Yeah, and you can bet your life Tommy's going to be looking for at least a 250 game just to open up.
Yeah, there'll be a few more of those around.
Yeah, you can bet your life.
You know, when Tommy's not bowling, the 29-year-old from South Carolina is always tuned into his own little world, and I mean that literally. He's got his iPod on. Yes, well, just to his right, he's got all his friends and family, but I'm sure he's got them tuned right out as he opens up with a double, and they let him know about it.
Dom is actually very hot at the moment. He's been bowling in Europe the last 6 months, ranked number 2, absolutely sews up loads and loads of tournament wins. He's basically a professional bowler, because I don't think he's got a day job.
You can be called a dominator, otherwise you've got to keep quiet about it, I think.
Actually, his friends call him the boy Carrot.
Yes, well, you wouldn't boast about that, would you? Let's see if... there's going to be more than just the odd strike here and there. And there is Pete Webber in the foreground. His father, of course, Dick Webber, a bowling legend, and the man for whom this tournament has been named. Totally respected in this business.
Just watch out. That's what Pete said. Just watch out.
Is it a turkey?
How about that? 3 perfect strikes from Don Barrett.
Oh,
very well indeed.
Well, this fella was the last of the 10 to arrive here in Barnsley. Landed this morning. Isn't showing any effects of the jet lag. That was just a bit of bad luck. I mean, that looked as good a pocket hit as the other 2, but the messenger didn't carry the 10 over. Sometimes you just get a bad break in this game.
Tommy takes the spare, hard and straight. And frame number 3.
Well, it's Dominic. And anytime you get the debutant in, you wonder how he's going to cope with all this pressure. And with bowling in this arena, he leaves the 10. But Guy, he's looking good, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Don Barrett really the man on fire this year. I mean, fresh off a victory at the European Tour last week, and then under-23 world champion, you know. I mean, there's no better time to come to this kind of format with your confidence high, because if you've got a few cracks in your game, the pressure here will expose them instantly. So it's a good time for Don Barrett to be on TV.
And Guy, what's it like to have an audience right down the side of the lane? Because this is very unusual, isn't it?
Oh, it's the most unique thing in the whole world of tempo bowling. And fantastic. You have to try and embrace it.
Oh, and just as we talk about that, he leaves the single pin, and that has to go down as a big error. Any idea? I just wonder if maybe something...
any of the things around you.
Yeah, thanks, Guy. Well, Jones will stay in his bubble, but Jones will also know that a strike here puts him in front. And that is the secret to match play. When your opponent lets you in, you walk in, but you know what? He's left that 10 up again, and if he leaves that again, I think he's going to have to start thinking about making an adjustment here. And this is the 3rd match. Jones will be eyeing that up, because that's twice that's happened now. He doesn't make the mistake that Barrett made, but there's nothing in it now, so Jones had a chance to open up.
Players been in their bubble. That's obviously their comfort zone, where they normally play, where they're happy to play.
He's left the 7. Now, the good news is, when you're a right-hander, it's that 10 in the right-hand corner that sometimes stands up like a match. So important that he gets this. Yeah. The last 2 frames, he's left that 10 in the corner. Tommy Jones, he won't want to ISO that again. doesn't. That was dispatched with some venom.
Yeah, I've got a feeling Tommy just moved a few boards left on the approach there, moved deeper inside, gave that ball a lot more room, and it came roaring back from the outside.
And every time they leave a pin standing, that reduces, so the maximum available 257 for Barrett, and the deficit 11, which is negligible. This one is still balanced on a knife edge. Jones needs this just to keep in front. Very good hit. You know, for a guy that's just literally got off a plane to come over to Barnsley, he's not showing any ill effects, is he?
Are you saying that people get ill when they come to Barnsley?
I was saying, if you've just got off a plane overnight and they're asking you to stand up in an arena like this and bowl your best, it's probably beyond most of us. But it was a triple for Barrett to open up, so that's why they're still so close. But Barrett needs a double here. Oh, he's not going to get it with that. No, just lost the pocket.
Yeah, a bit of overreaction. The back end leaves the 3, 6 and a 10 pin standing. Yeah, good spare under pressure.
But it's not enough. It's a 31 pin deficit as we get down to the business end of things here as well. And another strike from Tommy Jones. And it's tough to see how Dominic's going to get back into this one.
And of course, Nick, when you're working on a double, what do you normally do? Make a treble. Looking for 3 in a row, Jones, just to turn the screw. And an animated Tim Mack screams out, yes, Tommy.
You know, I remember Tommy Jones last year.
We may well have 2 300 games this year.
Well, sticking around, that's all he can do now, because the only way Dominic gets back into this one is if Tommy Jones lets him back in.
Yeah, he's basically come out here and got in cruise control and is just absolutely ripping the rack. Who's going to stop him?
Oh, he's just done it again, hasn't he? It's like it's on a wire going down there, straight into the sweet spot.
Yeah, Pete Webber like that one as well. 4 strikes in a row, and he's looking good coming up to the foundation frame, frame number 9.
Barrett can't think like that. He's just got to think, put a strike up. Because if your opponent doesn't strike, you can still get back in this. So he's playing a smart game here, Dominic Barrett. He hasn't fallen apart and just let his opponent walk to victory. He's sticking around.
Yeah, he can strike off a 237, which is no mean game. I mean, he's had that 9 miss, which was an absolute disaster, and a couple of spares as well. But apart from that, I mean, he's had 6 strikes already out of 9 frames, so... Jones buries his thumb deep into the ball, and then the fingers follow. Won't be rushed. This could be the match winner coming here, frame number 9.
Oh no, he lost the pocket there and is rather fortunate to leave a single pin. What happened there? It seemed to hook very violently at the back end. Dominic Barrett, just a glimpse of a lifeline here. If he can strike out, Jones will have to he'll have to get a strike in with his first ball.
You'd have to, yes, if Dominic strikes out with 3 here, Tommy's going to have to get the first 2
strikes here. He's still in with a shot. No, that's never going to happen. He got out of the pocket as well, and that's disappointing for Dominic, because that was a real pressure ball and he was found wanting on it.
Yeah, I'm afraid that's good night Walton, good night Vienna. The big 4, the 4, 6, 7, 10 split, the ball high through the head pin, flush through the nose, as we say, and a big open frame.
99 isn't going to win any games in the Weber Cup. He's capable of an awful lot more than that, and Jones can just bowl for fun now.
Yeah, Tommy's been in pretty much cruise control the whole game.
Well, that's what happens when the pressure's off, isn't it?
Well,
he try an experimental ball.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder what he was saying to the crowd there. That was interesting, wasn't it? I don't know if it was a bit of good-natured banter or whether he was a little bit annoyed. He's done enough to get the win, but didn't seem altogether happy with that crowd reaction at the end there. Interesting, wasn't it? Tommy Jones, though, straight off a plane, straight into the Weber Cup, and straight down to business. 236 plays 199. Jones takes America's 2nd point of this year's...